49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. This is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in his 8th season now in the league, Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah. 2
touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Rolling to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Niners. 45 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he hits the tight end. It's Davis. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. Now Elliott. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 14 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Here's Elliott. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. 4th down. Here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 21 carries, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal, and this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
3rd and 2, Watson. And he finds Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
We're scoreless after 1. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Watson on 1st down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Watson. And brought in by the tight end Cook. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. This is Elliott. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. On second down, it's Freeman. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Here's Elliott, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 23-6. The final score. We'll stay in the AFC South as we head one state over to check on the Indianapolis Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. 28-10, the final. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Dak Prescott, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. for the call of the second half. Maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Throwing on second down, Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Play action. Now Wilson sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Pierre Desir able to get a hand in and make that play. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Elliott. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. On third down, Wilson dancing to his left. Hard throw, incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Taking it about the 36. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Now a pass complete to Hogan. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Watson. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. It was Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, there to knock it away. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. This is Richard. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Bailey's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the 4th, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice, intense, on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Julio Jones once again the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first down, it's Elliott, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Watson. And he's going to find Hogan here, complete. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears. They get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. Still going. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones, But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on, and that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Niners, 5-4 on the season. Get a chance to redeem